Well, hello, folks. Welcome back. Today, I bring you an AI crypto gem. A crypto gem. This is proper DGEN zone we're in, folks, now. So, let me just give you a very brief background, which is all you'll get from me because it's not investment advice. And what I do with everything that I recommend is encourage you to go out and do your own research. But there's certain things that I think I see that nobody seems to be talking about. So let's talk about crypto influencers and how they work. That usually all of the narratives, all of the stuff you'll find will be big marketing campaigns approaching influencers, telling them to talk about their coin, giving them a discount so that they all pump them. And they go through cycles. When lots of influencers go and pump coins, they go through cycles. They get the right publicity, the price goes up. Quite often it goes as massively down afterwards. That's the pump and dump, folks. So let me just talk about a few things. But the main things that pump coins are mass marketing campaigns, which are done usually through YouTube and Twitter. And the other thing is listing on exchanges. Now, exchanges have a big thing because it means that more people have access to it. More people have access to these coins. What people don't tend to talk about, though, is lesser known exchanges or different enabling exchanges. Because there's phases to crypto adoption. First, the big money goes in and all the DGENs and all of the crypto natives. Now, these people are always hanging there. And when the market eventually kicks into full scale bull market is when all of the retail come in. Now, when the retail come in, most of them haven't got the foggiest. It might even be you watching this video. You haven't got the foggiest. Where do you start? How do I set up a crypto wallet? How do I get on an exchange? How do I use this safely? It's a nightmare. Crypto currently is a nightmare for people new to the space. So even listings on exchanges, on fairly big ones like Binance or MEXC, there's a lot of restricted access, especially if you live in the UK. There's a lot of reasons that you can't get access to the certain coins. And certainly, when I'm speaking to my friends in the UK that want to get involved in crypto, quite often the starting point is Revolut. Now, I don't want to give any big shout out to Revolut because there's lots of reasons why Revolut's not great. So let's start there. I'm not sponsored by Revolut, so this is a completely objective video for you. But when retail eventually come rushing in, a lot of them will do it through Revolut, which is why the listings on Revolut, I think, are even more significant than the major exchanges, or at least as significant. But for some reason, when tokens get listed on Revolut, the market doesn't really acknowledge it. It's not a big deal. This is news that goes under the radar. And in crypto, folks, you don't want to follow the narratives because by the time the big influencers are talking about it, you can guarantee that you've missed the entry point. You're chasing a high, it's already on its rush up. The secret is to get in early and to find little channels like this, which is why I've set it up because I got all of my best value information off the tiny little channels that weren't sponsored, that were giving me good advice, and people were watching it. I was watching it, and but not en masse, so the prices weren't pumping. The only chances I had of getting in early of certain coins was to find little channels and getting some insight. So that's my gift to you in this one. Now let's go back to the beginning of the bull run, which was late last year. First narrative to pump was AI. Now, I had £100 in a tiny little crypto at the time called FET AI, and I didn't even know what it was. And the only reason I did it is because I had it on Revolut. So, true story, true story. And that was one of the first coins to pump. And it went to about 20x for me. And massive. It just exploded. £100 became about 2 grand. It's massively retraced since then, but that's how it started, folks. So for little people just dabbling and having a little play with crypto, Revolut is a good starting point. And I frequently check what new coins go on Revolut. So let's fast forward. When the this part of the cycle, let's say at the beginning, at the round about December, in December going on to January, when the market was up quite a lot more, There were some really good there were some good narratives. It looked like everything was going to pump. But as you can see in the chart in the background, TARS AI, I'm going to take you on an exploration of why I think this is one. This is hidden in plain sight, folks. Hidden in plain sight. So join me on a little journey and let me take you on to a few charts that I look at. So the first one, which is the one in the background, let's look at TARS AI. The first thing, and this is the important one, folks, when we talk, if we're only putting tiny money into crypto, you want the potential for absolutely explosive gains. You want at least the chance of it, folks. So finding these little DGEN coins, now anything sub 20 million market cap, you are in the DGEN zone. Some would say sub 10 million, but believe me, sub 20 million is fairly close. So this is a very low cap coin, very low cap, which means it only needs to get a little bit of money into it to go explosive. So let's look at that. Let's look at that. So we've got a total max supply. We also see that the circulating supply is well over half. It is there. Look, 69% of the supply is already out. Now, for a tiny little DGen low cap coin, that's pretty good. It's not brilliant, but it's pretty good tokenomics down there. Now let's look at this. What's happened with this? It got launched last year. Look, these were all the early investors got in. This is where it launched. And it had a little dabble, then it sort of stabilized. And then when we got to here, which was, as you can see, this was around about the end of November, it just suddenly shot up. Shot up. This is what happens with DGen coins. They have the potential to go nuts. Look, it went up to 46 cents. And now, because we've had this slump, this depression, a lot of fear in the market, the altcoins, these tiny little degen coins, have been punished, and they've been punished hard. They've been punished hard, my friends, right the way back down, right the way back down. So let's look. Let's look at TARS AI. We now go to crypto rank, which we look at. And I always go to the fundraising section and I see what did the early stage investors get in at. They got in at 0.01. Now, these are the very early stage investors, 0.01. And as you can see, yes, they are sitting on profit, but not that much profit, folks, not that much. So we're looking at a coin here, and we've seen what happens when the market rises. Look at the potential. One day you're sitting there and it's worth 0.12 and you wake up, look, this is 20th of November. Just watch how quickly. You can see here at the bottom with the date here. Just watch the date. So there you go. You're sitting there one day, it's the 20th of November, 2024, and you're sitting there with some little DJing coin and it hasn't been moving. Look, it's boring. It's sat in your wallet. Maybe you've lost some money. Maybe you got in here. And you're thinking, oh my God, I'm 50% down. Why did I get into this nonsense? It was very high risk. And this is the game of crypto. You have to hodl, you have to hold, you have to believe. You have to know that this is going to happen at some stage. So there you are, minding your own business. Maybe you're bored with it now because you're sitting on the coin. It's 0.12. And then look, 22nd, 23rd. By the 23rd, you've doubled your money. Or by the 23rd, you've doubled your money. 24th, then look at this. 10 days later, you've trebled your money. And then look, by the time it hits here, which is the 13th of December, which is less than a month, folks, you've gone from here, from little here, look, it's from 0.13 to 0.46. And there you go, folks. And that was sitting on 0.13. Now look where it is now. 0.028. Now, I believe that this is a second chance because you've seen what's going to happen when the market goes up. Look, it's there. The evidence is there for you, folks. And this is this cycle. This isn't a last cycle. This is AI, which hasn't had a real run since here. There's a little bit of a run here, and then it had another run here. And all it's done is given everybody a second chance to get into it. She's just here. Well, let's look at AI. So here's things you can do. Let's go back a bit. So you can go into coin market cap. What you go to categories. Now we know AI and big data are going to be big. We know at some stage there's going to be a cycle that involves them. And look, near is at the top. And just to bring this to life, here's the one I got into, FET. And look, that is the seventh biggest AI coin. And even that, look, it's retraced back. It was FET. We're back on coin market cap on FET AI. And even with that, look, it's retraced right back because the pre-sale got in at 0.05. Now, yes, they're still sitting on 860 gains, but this is the seventh biggest AI coin. It's the seventh biggest. Let's go back. Let's look at the biggest. And here's another. If you're into more safer bets, if you want safer bets, folks, then let's go back. Near Protocol. It's the top ranked AI coin, and this is a blockchain. It's all about AI. I think it's a fantastic entry point. Fantastic entry point on Near. Because here's a layer one blockchain that's all about AI. And it's at $2.12. Now, the early stage investors got in at these prices. Now, that's not that big considering it's a layer one blockchain. I believe this is a great entry point. They're up 630%, but the IEO who've been in it for, look, over 4 years are only saying, oh, I say only, it's still not a bad return, 524%. But there you go, folks. People that have been in it for over 4 years are only sitting on they've got 430% gains on the biggest AI crypto in the market. So AI will have its day. AI will have its day. And TARS AI is a tiny little low cap DGEN coin. So if you're just playing with tiny money, not investment advice, folks, but this, I believe, is hidden in plain sight. And it's there on Revolut, waiting for DGENs to find it. So there you go. I will be very, very surprised if this one doesn't at some stage this year absolutely explode the way that it did when I showed you on the chart, folks. It's already shown what potential it's got. And here it is sitting at a wonderfully retraced level to give you another chance to get in. And it's on Revolut, which no one seems to be talking about. So there you go, folks. There is a little gem that I believe is hiding in plain sight. I believe all of the AI coins are hiding in plain sight at the moment. We know that that narrative is going to go up at some stage. We just don't know quite when. But if you get in now and hold it, I can assure you that the prices that these are at now represent bargains, folks. They represent bargains, or at least I think so anyway, for what it's worth. So there you go, folks. Go out and enjoy your AI journey. And if you choose to get into this, then by all means do so, or do your own research, as I would encourage you to do so. Look at AI and do your own research there and find your own little crypto gems. And if you find one, by all means, add it to this thread and I will do a little review of one. If we get some good ones, I'll do a little review of them. But there you go, TARS AI. And if you want more of my little insights, then by all means, like and subscribe to the channel. Or don't, folks. Don't let people know where it is. This little hidden gem of a channel. You may want to keep it secret. You might want to keep it secret so you can get all this information before the market pumps, which is exactly the way I would have played it back in the day. And if you want more of my little snippets, folks, there's another one just there.